Hey, good afternoon, guys. Today we're going to be replacing a 4-bulb fluorescent setup with LEDs. A buddy of mine gave me a bunch of these old fixtures. I wired one up and it's buzzing, it's flickering, it's time to go. So the benefit to LEDs is that they, A, consume less power so you can save on your electric bill. B, some setups you can actually get rid of the ballasts here and a lot of the internal electronics, which is really good. And see, the bulbs are they're usually plastic instead of glass. They don't break as easily and you're not dealing with that mess. They also last a lot longer, so you're not changing them nearly as often. So before we do that, let's just get into how a fluorescent fixture works. So the first thing is your wiring comes in. You have your white for neutral, your black for your hot, your ground, which goes to the housing. And then they go into these things. They're called ballasts. And what a ballast does, it allows enough juice to fire the lamp, start it up, and then it regulates the current so you don't overload your bulb during use. And you get to the ballast, and then they put the power out to these things, which are called tombstones. So tombstone here, there are two different kinds, and these are what the two prongs on the end of your fluorescent bulb go into and twist. There are shunted and non-shunted tombstones. So shunted or shared means that both of these metal prongs in here share the same current. And then you have non-shunted, which means you have both these prongs are individually wired, so you can have neutral and hot or whatever you want inside of it. And then when you get to the fluorescent bulb itself, so the fluorescent bulb itself is actually really cool. The technology's been around since I think it was like 1901 or something. Each end has these two prongs here, and what this bulb is inside, it's actually a cathode. And the inside has a small amount of mercury and argon gas. And then the inside, the inner part of this glass is lined with phosphor, which is an electroluminescent coating. And so basically it fires, it shoots a bunch of electrons down, there's a big reaction, everything lights up, and it's really cool stuff. But for the purposes of efficiency, an LED is definitely your best bet. Now, shopping for LEDs replacements can be a little tricky because there's four kinds. There's Class A, which are direct drop-ins. So, like I picked these up from Walmart the other day, although I may return them because the reviews have a lot of stuff about smoking and fire and that kind of fun stuff. But basically, these are just drop-ins. You leave your ballast in place. You just literally take your old fluorescent bulb out and put the LED in. And that's a type A. Now, they work and that's fine, but the drawback to a type A is that you're still using your ballast, so you're still drawing more current than you really need. So to save money on your electrical bill more, you can use what's called a type B, or which is a directly wires in. So you're going to cut your ballast out. There is a sorry about that, I was being summoned elsewhere. Anyway, so your type Bs are your direct wire. They're also known as ballast bypass or retrofit bulbs. And there's two different kinds. We have, on your LEDs, you have your prongs on either side. You'll either have wiring going to only one side or wiring going to both sides. And that'll be indicated on the box and also on the lamp itself. Anyway, so but those are awesome, the Type Bs, because you're eliminating the ballast, so any buzzing or flickering that you would have had, beforehand will be gone as long as it was related to the ballast. And then you're also going to be saving more money because the ballast is still drawing the current, more current than is needed to run the LED. Anyway, and then Type C, they are the ones. Oh, what are they called? They have drivers. So you get rid of the ballast, but you also have a starter or driver that you have to wire in as well to get it to go. And then the fourth type is type AB, which not just the blood type. It means you can either just bolt it directly, you can put it directly in place of a existing fluorescent bulb, or you can hardwire it in and eliminate the bypass. It'll do both. It's very important to read beforehand. We're men, we're really bad at that stuff. I mean, that's how this kind of stuff happens. But make sure you're getting the right bulb and just eliminate that, room for error. Anyway, so this evening I'm going to come back and get started wiring everything up, and I will be back. All right, so it's the evening. The children are in bed, and we're ready to work. Let's show you what I'm working with here tonight. Let's keep a couple of the old fluorescents around in case I want to smash them over my buddies' heads. No, seriously, don't do that. If you do, don't breathe it. Anyway, what I have is the 2-pack of toggled T8, T12 LED. These are the direct wire bypass, but they're the ones that use the single-ended bulb. These were about 19 bucks at Home Depot. I got a couple of the ones that are the direct replacement, and I actually I'd said earlier about the potential, fire hazard from the previous reviews. So what I did, I just figured I'll put them in the lamps that I have on only when I'm in the shop, like this one I use for side panels when I do body work on cars. So it works pretty well. I don't know if you can see by the camera angle. There are some dull spots in here. It's not a very consistent light, but there's no smoke. There's no funny odors or anything. So I'll keep those around. And those are about 8 bucks for a pack of 2. So those are your cheapest option. And then I have the direct wire Pro LEDs from Halco Lighting Technologies. They were 73 bucks for a 10-pack at Home Depot. So between those and the toggled ones, these are definitely going to be your cheapest option. For 10 of these, they'll run you about 100 bucks. So 73 bucks here. Saving a little bit of cash there. All right, let's get to work. All right, so like I said before, keep it simple, stupid, the KISS principle. Basically, just think of this as the wires that go to these tombstones, keep them over here. The wires that go to these tombstones, keep them over there, even though everything's crisscrossed in the middle. So, let's cut everything out, away from the ballasts. I only work with one arm, so I'm a little bit dysfunctional right now. That's all right. Minor setbacks. Cool. Nothing connected anymore. Just these little retaining nuts here. So I can do this without having to. Alright, I just cut that part out because, who cares, I'm taking a nut off a bolt, and if you don't know how to do that, you should probably stop watching now and consult a professional. Alright, so these things can pop right out. Junk. And junk. Alright. So, for the sake of the video, I'm going to leave a lot of slack here, but obviously you would tidy everything up and make it look nice. I'll show the end product once everything's done. Alright, so I try to keep my videos relatively short, so I'm not going to bore you guys and make everybody watch me strip wires. You can use wire strippers. I'm old school. I just use a razor. For those of you that don't know, just work your way around. And you can be all Rico Suave and pop it off like that. Or you can do the old... Alright, so we're going to do the single-ended kit from Home Depot that was like 19 bucks. It's cool. It comes with its own non-shunted tombstones. And all we have to do that off, pop that off, pull this up, and there's all your wiring, and we literally pull all these off, and that goes in the garbage. Then we're gonna, like I said, I'll make it pretty after the fact, but I'm just gonna show the basic wiring for now. Our non-shunted tombstones, pop them in like so. Pop that in there. We can feed these through here. And we'll just put that right back here, bolt it in. And like I said before, with the single-sided bulbs, all the wiring only goes to one side. This side, you leave the tombstones in place just to actually mount the bulb, but nothing goes to it. No juice. It's not wired up at all, so leave that alone. Oh, incomplete. This. All right, let's grab ourselves a bulb here. All right, and it says AC input right here, so this will be the power side. And it's a three-sided bulb. There's writing on it. Obviously, that's going to go to the ceiling, or to the top of the fixture here. Click it in. Let's see if I did something right tonight. Yay! And there we go. 4 of them should do pretty well in here. Alright, so I cut back and taped up all the wires on the end that's not getting the juice. And on this end, I'm going to just feed everything through the side here. I drilled my pilot. I'm just going to use one of the step drill bits. And then something I'd use when I thread on something like this, where I thread wire through just so it doesn't get cut on that outer edge. A little bit of hot glue, put a bead around it, put it through, and that'll protect it. So I'll be right back. Alright, got everything wired up, all the excess cut away. Let's plug her in and see if she works. Alright, all good to go. No smoke, no fire. All is good in hillbilly heaven. Alright guys, we are at the do not try this at home phase of the video. Oh, let's put the lid on gunpowder. Alright, prevent any inadvertent explosions, even though that would make for great TV, which is probably why my ratings suck. Anyway, first things first, I just have my hot and my neutral. I'm just going to touch them to both ends. We're going to install the double-ended LEDs now, and we're just going to make sure we have power. Or illumination, should I say. Sure enough, we do. Let's get to it. All right. So like I said before, we have just clipped all the wires and divided everything into left and right. So all the wires on this side, all the wires off to that side, and nothing in between, no connections around behind or anything we didn't see. We double checked that. And so all we're going to do is wire the hot to one side, the neutral to the other, and it really doesn't matter which one you do. And then put the bulbs in it. It should go. So just real quick, these lamps don't have a center section that I can conceal all the wiring with. So what I did, I just took my step drill bit, drilled a hole back here. I'm passing all the wiring through, running it across the top, probably wrapping some wire loom around it just for cosmetics, and then wiring it into the cord. So we got the wires running through. Here's our cord. You got your hot and your neutral, and just that goes to one side, that goes to the other side. Everything's tucked up on the top of the lamp, nice and neat, and we'll go test the bulbs and hang them up. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if it works. Awesome. I love it when a plan comes together. All right, so the lights are hung. Everything's working great. It really lights up my work area, which is awesome, especially considering I'm going to be doing some body panels in the near future and really need a well-illuminated area to make sure I can get all my surfaces even. And, you know, I make these videos because they're, you know, to help other people with things that, you know, I initially had questions or problems with. But I also make them because people that know a lot more than me can comment and sort of fill in the blanks or point out things I missed. Obviously, I'm going to get roasted for not having grounded wires, but I do plan either this fall, this winter, whenever this thing heals, I am going to eventually rewire my whole garage and do it right. And then I'm going to just hardwire everything in and make sure everything's properly grounded. But the gist of the job, take your time, use common sense, keep it simple, use a condom, live long and prosper, be kind to others, all that good stuff. Anyway, guys, I'm off to bed, so y'all have a good night, and until next time, cheers.